can see here is it's a major problem across the board for felony major crimes, sexual misconduct, domestic violence, less so anti-Semitism, racist, and homophobic remarks. But if you break it down by party identification on the responses, that's where things get super interesting. So, felony major crime for Republicans, Democrats, roughly the same. Domestic violence, now we're starting to see some splits there. 67% of Republicans say it's a major problem, 81% of Democrats. Candidates, obviously there's some high profile Senate candidates this year running for office who do have these problems in their backgrounds. But in the context of a GOP primary, not much of a problem.
So that is John Stein on MSNBC talking about a poll that was done about what sort of things are problems for you if it turns out that a candidate has those. And as he pointed out, for some of these crimes or allegations, it's not a big deal on the Republican side. Domestic violence, sexual misconduct, they are far less critical of candidates with those characteristics than the Democrats are. And that seems a little bit inconsistent. By the way, they're far less likely to think that anti-Semitic remarks are a big deal. So just bear that in mind when conversations about anti-Semitism are going on in a political sense. They literally don't mind if their candidates did that. But Anna, I think this makes all the sense in the world. So many of their candidates have done these things, they kind of have to be okay with them. There are multiple candidates for Senate as well as lower offices who have been alleged to have physically abused, sexually abused people. And so they're growing to become quite comfortable with these sorts of candidates.
It's almost as if the concerns about sexual misconduct that we hear from right wingers in the context of trans bathrooms and things like that aren't really issues they genuinely care about, and instead use these culture war issues as a tool to accumulate power. It's almost as if that's the case, right? This doesn't surprise me at all, at all. The domestic violence and sexual misconduct issues historically have been issues that the right wing has actually fought to allow and has fought against legislation to ensure that there are, stricter penalties, harsher penalties for anyone who engages in that kind of behavior. The Violence Against Women Act, that was something that Republicans had to be essentially forced into supporting. And it's actually in the past expired many times because of Republicans having complete control of Congress. So this doesn't surprise me, but I do think that this is yet another example of why we should be suspicious of the kinds of claims that the right wing makes about itself and its values, especially when it comes to their culture war narratives, because again, it's very rarely about the specific culture war that they're fighting. It's really about how they use that culture war as a tool to accumulate power.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I'll just throw out a final thought for conservatives who might be watching this. You love to imply that, no, it's those lefties. They're the anti-Semitic ones. We take it seriously. No, you literally don't. You are almost half as likely to have an issue with a candidate who has openly said things that are anti-Semitic. And we're not racist, you say, except you mind, again, half the rate whether the candidate has made racist remarks. And by the way, this isn't like we're presenting a specific remark and then having them evaluate whether it's racist. They're just admitting, no, this is a racist remark. That's the category. I don't have a problem with it. And the homophobia stuff, they don't have a problem at all. I mean, that's the basis of their politics right now. So this is your side. Have fun with that.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.